Hello, New York Yankees fans. We have brand new exclusive videos and the latest news for you. Before we get started, we'd like to invite you to join our channel and give this video a like. It's crucial to get exclusive access to the latest updates. You're not going to believe the noise coming out of the Bronx this week. There's a buzz swirling around Yankee Stadium, and if what we're hearing is true, it could shake up the Yankees' entire catching situation. Word on the chur, with that sweet swing and power potential, has been one of the Yankees' most talked about young players. Fans have been clamoring for more playing time, especially after a few flashes of brilliance behind the plate and in the batter's box. But apparently, Boone's patience is wearing thin. There have been whispers of Wells missing assignments, not executing the game plan, and struggling defensively, things Boone reportedly values deeply. And while we haven't seen an outright benching yet, the signs are there. His playing time has dipped. His name's been left off some key lineups. And now, this alleged statement from Boone could be the final straw. If he's really said, "He doesn't play for me anymore," then that could mean Wells is one step away from the minors, or worse, the trading block. Of course, we gotta ask, is this about performance, or is it something deeper? People around the team have suggested that Wells and Boone have never quite clicked. Boone, a former player himself, tends to gravitate toward guys who are all in on his system, calling the game a certain way, managing the pitchers, doing the homework. If there's been any disconnect between Wells and the pitching staff, it's likely Boone noticed. And with a rotation as loaded and expensive as the Yankees, the last thing you want is a catcher who isn't in sync with his guys on the mound. It's a chemistry issue, and if Boone thinks Wells is a liability instead of a leader behind the plate, then that would explain a lot. It wouldn't be the first time a manager soured on a young prospect because of intangible issues. But don't be so quick to blame Wells. Let's be fair, he's still young, still learning the ropes at the big league level. And there's a growing feeling among fans, and even a few analysts, that Boone might be overreacting here. We've seen flashes of talent from Wells. He's got pop in the bat, a willingness to learn, and the kind of upside that makes other teams jealous. Is this really the time to give up on him? Or is Boone sending a message, hoping to light a fire under the kid? That would be the optimistic take, that this is Boone's way of challenging Wells, not burying him. But if this really is a hard stance, if Boone's decided Wells is out of his circle of trust, then you can bet the front office is going to have to weigh in sooner rather than later. And that's where this gets even more interesting. Because you know Brian Cashman, he's not afraid to move a piece if he thinks it helps the team. If Boone has lost faith in Wells, and if the coaching staff agrees, we might be looking at a summer trade. Imagine the Yankees flipping Wells for bullpen help or a veteran backup catcher. It's not out of the question. The Yankees are in win-now mode, and they don't have time for development projects that aren't clicking. But then again, do you really want to risk giving up on a guy with this much raw ability just because of a spat with the manager? The internal politics of a clubhouse can get messy, and sometimes cooler heads have to prevail. There's also the timing to consider. This rumor is surfacing just as the Yankees are heading into a brutal stretch of the season. Lots of division games, high-stakes matchups, and the pressure cooker that is mid-season baseball in New York. Boone doesn't need distractions. If the catcher situation is already shaky, this kind of drama only adds fuel to the fire. And don't forget, the media in New York isn't exactly known for letting things slide. If reporters start poking around this "he won't play for me" comment, things could snowball quickly. Suddenly, the Yankees might be dealing with more than just a lineup issue. This could turn into a full-blown narrative, and you know how those stories take on a life of their own. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. Now, let's talk about the fans, because Yankee fans are no joke. They've been watching this team closely, and many of them like Wells. They see the potential. They want to believe in the next homegrown star behind the plate. So if Boone really has written him off, there could be backlash. Fans are already divided about Boone's decision-making lately, and this won't help. If Wells gets traded and turns into a star elsewhere, you can bet Boone's going to hear about it. Remember what happened with guys like Gary Sanchez and Sonny Gray. New York let them go, and they found life somewhere else. The fan base has a long memory, and they don't forgive those kinds of miscalculations easily. But let's play devil's advocate for a second. What if Boone is right? What if Wells just isn't ready, mentally or physically, for the demands of being a starting catcher in New York? This is one of the toughest markets in all of sports. If he's not clicking with the pitchers, if the defense isn't there, if the preparation is lacking, then maybe Boone's doing what's best for the team. A manager has to make tough calls. And as much as we want every young prospect to blossom under the bright lights, sometimes it doesn't work out. Maybe Boone sees something behind the scenes we don't. Maybe this comment, harsh as it sounds, is just Boone being brutally honest. Still, it's hard not to wonder if this whole thing could have been handled differently. If there's friction between Boone and Wells, shouldn't that be an internal matter? Why let it leak? Why make a public show of pulling the plug on a young player's development? That's the part that's confusing. Either this is an emotional outburst that got out, which would be uncharacteristic for Boone, or it's a calculated message meant to reach Wells and the clubhouse. Either way, it feels risky. There's a fine line between motivating a player and alienating him. If this doesn't lead to a quick turnaround or resolution, the Yankees could have a bigger problem on their hands. So here we are, another day, another Yankee storyline that could change the course of the season. Is Austin Wells really done under Boone? Or is this just a loud wake-up call, the kind that players either respond to or crumble under? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, where there's smoke in the Bronx, there's usually fire. And if this rumor keeps growing, don't be surprised if the Yankees' catching situation looks very different by the time the trade deadline rolls around. Keep your eyes on this one, folks, because the Wells-Boone drama might just be the next big chapter in the Yankees' wild, unpredictable season. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.